Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a full set of acrylic nails. So of course the first thing that we did was push back the cuticles, and that exposed the new growth and help with reducing lifting. After that, I'm going in with the Melody Susie Scarlet Nail Drill at 5,000 RPMs. And with this one, we are just removing the shine from the natural nail. Remember that our body produces a lot of oils. Those oils happen to be on our natural nail, which is why we have to go in and remove that. If not, the nails will lift. Next, we're going to go in and apply the nail tips. So I'm just using these coffin nail tips by Macart. I do have a promo code for them, so I'll be sure to leave the link in the description for you guys. And for the glue, I am using the KDS glue, which is what I always use. Remember that whenever you are applying your nail tips, you want to make sure that they fit perfectly from sidewall to sidewall. You don't want the nail tip to be so big to where it's hanging off the nail. And then you also don't want it too small to where you're literally having to push it down in order for it to stay down. Because if not, you will get lifting, or the nails are just going to break off, or if they're too big, they're just gonna look super wide, and that's not cute. So make sure that you pay attention to that. We're gonna do that on both nails, of course, and then after that we're gonna shape the nails. I'm using a 100 nail file to shape the nails, and of course they're already that coffin shape, so we just have to go in and redefine that shape, and also blending the nail right in the middle. Again, y'all, this is a 100 nail file. And then also remember that when you're doing this, hold your file at exactly a 90-degree angle. I know I say that a lot, but I want you to, like, I say it so much so when you're actually filing nails, you can hear me in your head saying 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle. That way you get the perfect coffin shape. Alrighty, so after we finish shaping the nails, I'm going to go in and apply the primer. Of course, we dust the nails off before. So we're applying the primer. I'm using the JCBEAUTYCONCEPTS primer. And then after that, we're going to go in with the acrylic. So for my base, I'm using the JCBEAUTYCONCEPTS clear acrylic, which I use as my core color. And then the colored acrylics that I'm going to be using today are actually by Valentino. I don't have that many colored acrylics by JCBEAUTYCONCEPTS just yet. But honestly, I know just yesterday when I was doing my live video about JC Beauty Concepts, or actually no, when I posted my video and then I did a live, people were asking, you know, like, why was I not using my Valentino acrylics? And I do use some, but I just use JC Beauty Concepts as like the core color, which would be the color that I use as the base and, you know, to encapsulate, and then the colored acrylic just for like designs like this. The reason why is just because, you know, Valentino is a really good brand, and honestly I feel like it's the same quality as JC Beauty Concepts. It's just more expensive, and I know that my channel is for beginners, so I don't want to push a brand on people that's more expensive, because I know starting out, you know, it's hard trying to get a steady clientele, so you're still trying to, you know, be smart about your money. So again, JC Beauty Concepts is definitely the same quality as Valentino, so I would recommend you look into them before. I just use the Valentinos again because I bought them a while back, but if I would have known about JC Beauty Concepts before, I definitely would have invested my money in their whole collection to begin with. But again, it's the same quality, just a big price difference. But anyways, as you can see, I did the different blue acrylics on this one, but we did the base of clear first. That way next time whenever she comes back, we can just file away the colored acrylics. I also did a little bit of gold glitter and then some gold foil on top. We're going to be doing the soft white on the rest, but again, I do the base of the clear first, and this soft white is also by Valentino. All of the products that I have by them, I actually bought with my own money. I don't have a promo code for them. So I'm sure you can find a promo code on like Instagram and stuff. But yeah, so again, this is soft white, or is it soft white? I think it's soft touch. I think that's what it's called. But then as you can see, I'm also using the JC Beauty Concepts number 12 brush, which I absolutely been loving. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. My favorite part about it is, from one, it just looks so good, you know, with the metal, like the rose gold color. And then I also love the little grip that you guys see there. It's like little rubber, it's kind of like rubber bands around the brush where you hold the brush, and it just fits so comfortable in your hand, and it doesn't slip out or anything. So definitely love that. But as you can see, after we did the off-white color, we're just going in and encapsulating the nail with the clear. Again, I'm just using the off-white color as, you know, the base for just color, and then I build my thickness with the clear. So I just wanted to make that clear. And then also for the next nail, which will be the index finger, I'm gonna try to do like a tricolor ombre, except for two of my blues were like very similar, so it's gonna look more like a two-tone ombre. But I mean, it still looked good, but same as before, just doing the base with the JC Beauty Concepts clear. And then we're gonna go ahead and apply the first blue at the tip, and I tried to do like lightest, and then as it get back to the cuticle area, it gets darker. But you'll see what I mean when I say that two of the colors were really similar. As you can see, at first it do look a little bit darker, but then whenever I brush it down, it just literally blends right into that first color. But then the next color is definitely going to be a lot darker. I try to add a little bit more at the tip, but you still couldn't really tell a difference. But it's still going to look right because there's still going to be that two-tone kind of ombre. But as you can see, I'm placing that bead closer to the cuticle area. And remember that when you're placing your beads around the cuticle area, place it as close as you can to the cuticle area, but not right on the skin, because you don't want it to flood the cuticle. Also, another big thing is making sure that you're not working with too much acrylic, or that your acrylic is not too wet, because then it's going to flood the cuticle area, and that's what you don't want, because then most likely you are going to get lifting. So make sure that you are careful with that. And then also I do have my practice sheet with the liquid to powder ratio. So if you're a beginner, I would definitely recommend that you download the sheet and that you practice with it before you even touch a nail. That way you can practice your consistency, because whenever you're doing acrylic, it's all about having the correct liquid to powder ratio, because if not, either your acrylic is going to be way too runny, which you're gonna have to keep adding. Most likely it's gonna get on the skin, and then if it's too dry, then your acrylic is gonna go on really bumpy and lumpy. So you want to have the perfect consistency. But as you can see now, I'm just going in with the clear and encapsulating this ombre now. And then remember, you want to make sure you clean around the cuticle area really good, and then also making sure that as you're working, you're wiping your brush off a lot on your paper towel. I use the Viva paper towels. I think it's the green pack. They're like really soft, and they just suck in all of that liquid in the product really well, so your brush does not get dirty while you're working. So next, for the other two nails, we're just gonna go ahead and do just the same color that we did on the middle finger, which again is called soft touch. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then we're gonna move on to the next hand. Alrighty, so now we're going in with the 100 nail file, and we're just going to go ahead and reshape the nails. Of course, we already shaped them, but whenever we apply the acrylic, it may take away from your shape. So we just have to go in and redefine that shape, but again, going in at a 90-degree angle on the sides and the free edge. Next, we're going to go in and file the nails. I'm using my fine ceramic drill bit, and we're going to file around the cuticle area first, going from the right side all the way over to the left side, going back and forth until the nail is nice and smooth, and then also until you're able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way you know that the acrylic is not on the skin, and we're going to do that on all of the nails. Remember that if you're a beginner, you want to make sure that you spend a little bit more time around that cuticle area, because that's where your lifting will come from. And honestly, I know yesterday when I was on the live, people were asking, and this is a really common question: how do you prevent lifting? And y'all, like, trust me, I wish I had just one answer for you guys, but it can be a number of things. And I know that I say that a lot, but it could be either from not prepping the nail correctly, from not applying the correct size tips, from your liquid from your acrylic being too liquidy or too dry, or from you not following around the cuticle area. But I know for me, it was not following around the cuticle area like you should. I feel like I was, but I knew that I wasn't, because I knew that I was scared to go around that cuticle area. And sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, like, it looks nice and neat, so it'll be fine. No, you still have to go in and file really, really good. You want to make sure that the cuticle area is nice and sealed. That way you don't get any moisture, any water, lotion, hair oil, face serum, whatever you're using. If there's any gaps in between your natural nail and the acrylic and those get under there, your nail is going to lift. So make sure that you seal the nails really, really well. And again, I'm using the fine ceramic drill bit. You can find this one on Amazon. I'll be sure to leave the link down below for you guys. And then I'm using, again, the Melody Susie Scarlet Nail Drill, which I highly recommend, and I'm using it at 10,000 RPMs. So we're gonna go ahead and do this on all of the nails, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alrighty, so now we're going to go in and buff the nails, and this is going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nail from the hand file or the e-file. So make sure that you buff really good. And then as you can see, after I buff each nail, I run my thumb over the top of the nail to make sure that it's smooth. If not, I go in and buff a little bit more. After we finish buffing the nails, we're going to wipe them, or sorry, we're going to dust them off, and you can have your client go wash their hands, or you can just wipe them off with an alcohol wipe, which is what I usually do. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go in and we're going to be applying these huge bling stones, whatever you want to call them. And at first I was going to use this nail adhesive, but they're way too big and I ran out of my hard gel. So I'm going to eventually use the acrylic. I know I've seen like people at the shop do that. So I don't know if you guys have ever tried that when using like really big stones, but that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm just using the clear acrylic. I'm doing a small or kind of like a medium bead, and then placing the jewel right in the middle while it's still wet. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and then it surprisingly dried really fast, so I didn't have to sit there and like mess with it. As you can see, they're in place now. I'm going to add a little bit more right in the middle, and she just wanted like super huge crystals all on her nails. Like this was literally her request, and I'm sure you guys have seen or recognize some of her sets because she always gets like huge bling and stuff. But anyways, as you can see, for the smaller bling, which is my ABS6 and SS12, I'm just using this nail adhesive for that. Same thing for this one. I'm going to use the bigger stones, so I'm just using the acrylic. I just do a bead of the clear acrylic, place the crystal right on top of it while it's still wet, and then that's just going to be my glue for today. And then I'll be sure to let you guys know exactly how they held up. I'm sure next time whenever she comes, I'll record so you guys can see how well they did. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that on this finger and then the pinky as well, and then after that we're going to apply the top coat. Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and apply the top coat, and I'm using the JCBEAUTYCONCEPTS gel top coat. We're going to apply that on all of the nails, and then we're going to cure for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other hand. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. As you can see, they turned out really pretty. The colors are so cute together. I love that hint of gold that I threw in there. They just look so good together. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GetNail32, and I'll see you guys next time.